Okay, my friend, who are you and what does your company do?
My name is Greg. I'm with 24/7 Restoration, and we have a door-to-door roofing sales team here in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Awesome. Why were you seeking commission-based sales recruiting services or help?
Because it's hard.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely
It's
is.
hard to get people to show up, hard to sell them on the dream, hard starting out as a smaller company.
Yeah, yeah. And when you kind of started working with us, was it you and mostly production staff, or what was kind of the setup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we, could get a sales guy or two, but we had no systems and processes around it. We didn't have much, man. We didn't really have a door-to-door team. We were running internet leads and stuff, but I was pretty much doing all that work when we started.
yeah, yeah. Before working with SRU, what were your frustrations around recruiting?
Recruiting, hiring,
The whole thing?
interviewing, all of it, man. It all
Yeah.
sucked.
What about like the post signing the rep piece? Like what was it like then?
What do they call it? Spray and pray. Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot like that, man. Just trying stuff out, and it was really hard because we were just bringing on anybody that said that they would come, and so we had no way to really measure. Was it us? Was it them? What
yeah,
was it that wasn't working? So
yeah, yeah. How did working with SRU make your life easier?
uh, pretty much systemized everything. Um, we've got a really solid interview process. It's a really solid process for bringing candidates in. You guys have helped us to put together the training for, when they're here, those group calls on Wednesday and Thursday, whatever it is. Those things are super valuable. And it's like, even though I've been through them 3 times, I still get on as much as I can, and I still get a nugget out of almost every call. So the collaboration between the business owners is like a secret value that I wouldn't have even known. And I mean, you guys wouldn't even have told me about, but it's just like, I'm like, wow, I'm like, I get to be around other business owners that are in different stages. And so they all kind of click and connect. And it's a really good community, I guess, for giving back on the people that are on the calls as well. Sorry, I lost the internet there for a second. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah. So what about like the outside of the recruiting process? I know you mentioned something around training. What are some things that came together for you from like a training, onboarding, management kind of perspective?
Uh, so we do meetings every day now.
Mhm.
That was a big thing. We've got expectations for like first week, second week, first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Uh, a lot of requirements, I guess, that didn't seem like they made sense before. And it kind of clicked that you can't really hold a rep accountable unless, one, you're providing them the right tools, but two, that you're also telling them exactly what they need to be accountable for up front.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. What are some tangible results that you've gotten by working with us?
I'm a beast at my presentation and closing people down, says my candidates on their group review form that you gave me.
Yeah.
Um, we got really clear about what our culture is. We got really clear about what we're looking for. It's a lot easier now for us to identify exactly who we're looking for rather than just anybody.
Yeah.
Your ads give us the volume to be able to hand pick rather than just bring them on. Um, Overall, it's a better process, man. We're a lot more educated in so many areas. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like before we worked with you guys, like, pray and spray or spray and pray. And
Yeah.
I feel like now it's like I almost it's like I went to work for another company and got taught how to do everything that I was struggling to figure
That's
out
awesome.
on my own,
That's
because
awesome.
nobody's going to give you all of that information. It's proprietary. It's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, 100%. And like I know you were talking about a rep that recently came on and they hit um, their 90-day production mark in week 1, which is obviously unusual, but and then he recruited one of his buddies in or something like that.
Yep. And even more unusually so, he hit his 90-day production mark on week 2.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that was after I did that thing with you with the training and got clear on what I needed to train on, and really just realized that I was like drowning them with a fire hose, and I should have just given them a little hamster bottle. And they've been able to get what they needed from there. And I check in with them and make sure that I don't need to provide them anything and they don't feel like I do. And then I go out in the field with them and I show them how to close the sale down. And there's a lot of confidence in the process.
Yeah, love it. 2 more questions, my friend. I know you're busy. What's like the one thing that you've liked most about working with us? Like the one core thing that's been most beneficial?
The help, just having the resource there, the help, being able to come on and ask my questions, getting clarity around something that I didn't have clarity with. So yeah, 100% that it's a live person and that there's so much support.
Love it. Love it. And then last question, what would you say to somebody maybe outside of your market considering, to work with us?
Well, if you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, it definitely won't work for you. Don't sign up with him. It's just going to be terrible. But anywhere else in the country, sounds so silly, but I mean, you'd be a fool to not buy it. I wish you could pull up the call when Brandon signed me up, and I just had all these bad experiences and all these things had gone wrong, and I wasted all this money and I was tired of it. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. And Brandon's like, all right. He's like, something's up here. He's like, you can't have had such a bad experience other places that you like aren't willing to do this. And I was just like, I remember just being like, F you, man, F you. Because I was like, he was being brash about it. And I just was like, man, I tell you what, I was like, you guys are so confident in it. I was like, you give me a money back guarantee and I'll do it. And he's like, how about this? He goes, how about I will work with you? He goes, it's like, I don't even do this. He's like, what if I work with you one-on-one, and anytime you need something, you just call me and I'll try to get you an answer within a day. And he's like, I'll do that for a year because I'm so sure this is going to help you and this is what you need. And this isn't just a sales pitch. And I was like, all right, fine, bet. I was like, here's my credit card. And then like, dude, on like, I don't know, the second or third call, I was just like, the university thing was kind of boring to get through at first. I was just like, God, do I have to do this?
Yeah.
And I went through it, and then like, it's also, your content's way better. So not even throwing shade at you. It's way more engaging, and the weekly calls are too. But I just remember being after like the third call, I was just like, wow. I was like, this is exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
This is it. And just I feel like I'm stealing from you because I'm still getting on these weekly calls. And I'm not even paying any more money to it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, you know what? I'm like, it's a full-time job to recruit. So why don't you guys just do it for me? And I am happy to have y'all run that process and fill up my interviews for me, man. It's perfect.
Yeah. And for some context for anybody that watches this, Greg started in our Done With You program and was there for the first few months and got his first few reps off the ground and dialed in processes. And now he's transitioned into our recruiting services, which is very normal for the solo owner that's trying to get their foundation built up. But yeah, man, I appreciate you so much, Greg. Thanks for your time today, my friend.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all on the call.
Okay, talk to you later.